Welcome back, beautiful people. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different, and it's not to do with balancing your yin, and it's not to do with plants, but it is to do with farming, and it's a little bit of wisdom that we've gained over this turbulent week, and I just want to openly express from my heart about that. So, last week we put out a call on our social media posts on multiple platforms, and we were really questioning, why are we doing what we're doing? We've had the same two customers over the last 2.5 years, and that means that we are creating a large amount of food going to our chickens and not to the people of our community. And so we put a call out on our social medias talking about, what do we do? It's been 2.5 years. We've got the same two customers, and we would love to hear some feedback. Is it worth us continuing, or do we put down our tools? Would you guys prefer food or a tree nursery? And I can't remember a single time in the last decade that I have felt so low and so depressed. And yeah, I really felt just vulnerable and at the mercy of the world, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, we're not offensive people. We don't actively go out there trying to offend people, and like sometimes you can hear a bit of my husband venting his frustration in his posts, but that's natural. We all have our own opinions of what the world should be and how our practices should be, but regardless, so we went through a couple days where my husband was like, that's it, I'm done, I'm ready to put down the tools. We're feeding all of this, we're working our butts off, and we're just feeding all of this high quality organic produce to our chickens. What's the point, right? And so, me, the eternal optimistic, I was like, what if this happens, and what if this happens? And he just said, Jill, just stop, let it go, I'm ready to put down the tools. And look, to be fair, the feedback we got was enlightening, to say the least. It's not the feel good stuff that you want to hear, but it was definitely eye opening, and it actually really gave us. And I remember laying in bed feeling completely drained, and that's what happens when I'm depressed. I have zero motivation to cook, do chores. It was really hard for me to be there as a mother and be present with my children when, my business was falling apart before our eyes, and everything we have literally worked our entire lives towards was falling apart right in front of me. And it's like my mind just didn't want to accept it. I never want to give up that easy. And I just laid there contemplating, why do we grow this much quality organic produce? Why does nobody buy it from us? Why this? Why, universe? And I remember specifically laying in bed a couple of days ago saying, I know I'm learning something from this. It just quite hasn't landed yet. It hasn't sunken in. And, so some of the feedback we got was what our local community thinks of us, which everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I think that's been an overarching theme this year for me, is I've been cut out of a lot of people's lives. And again, I just go straight to source and I say, why? Like, am I offending people? I just can't understand it. And the universe is quite clear. It just, Jillian, you can't help other people. They have to go through their own trials and tribulations in order to come to their own understanding and to get on their path. You can't force anybody on their healing journey. You can't force anybody on the path to health and wellness. They have to go through their own life crises in order for there to be that emotional attachment to want to change, to want to eat better, to want to be healthier, to want to help themselves. And so, I am a person of zero judgment. You know, I don't hold judgment upon anybody because in my mind, we're all on our own journey and some of us are awakening quicker than others. And so, yeah, it was very enlightening, the feedback we got. The feedback we got from our community, giving us some insight on what our community thinks of us, and that's fine. And then also, it really actually just gave us a lot of clarity, and for that, I have immense gratitude. So, it gave us clarity on, yes, what our community thinks of us, but it also gave us clarity on where to direct our efforts and our energy. And although our immediate community surrounding us hasn't been as supportive as it could be, the greater, broader community of the area really does value what we do. And it got me kind of thinking, was like, because there was so much hesitation, like, why are we doing something that people don't value? Why don't they value what we like? Don't we bring value? Or anyways, so yeah, there was a lot of kind of contemplation, and I'm very grateful for the clarity. So previous to this, we were trying to put our community first, and looking back with hindsight, we now know that it's about, we're only turning our efforts to the people who actually value what we do. And I've heard this from a number of market gardeners is, you know what, you don't want the pain in the ass customers that are going to hassle you for this or judge you for that. You want the customers who really value what you do, who, can let go of the judgments, and just say thank you for what you provide. Thank you for providing this valuable resource to our lives. And so moving forward, me and Ev are just turning our focus to putting all of our time and effort and energy into valuing our customers. And we're not social people. I mean, some people might wonder like why we're not out more socially, but you try running a farm and homeschooling 2 children and planting 300 lettuces in an hour, and like we're kind of flat out. So it's yes, we might not be as social as you want, but that's your own expectation letting you down. We are very busy people, and we have a lot of goodness to offer, and we're only going to turn our efforts and our goodness to our customers who actually value what we do. So it was really eye-opening this week, and it was a real emotional roller coaster. There were, sometimes you gotta break down to break through, and that's the hardest part, is scraping your belly on the bottom for the nth time in 2.5 years and going, what is wrong? And it's actually just, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, growing food and produce for our community. It's just that our community doesn't value what we're doing. So we're turning our efforts to our new community, is our customers, those who value what we do, those who want our produce, those who really appreciate the food and medicine we grow and make. And and I've heard multiple podcasters say it's, you don't want the pain in the ass customers, you want the customers who want you. And yeah, so it was a bit of an emotional journey over the last week, feeling like, we've put in all this work for nothing just to have it fall apart because people are casting judgments. Like, it's so easy to cast judgments, and here's, me withholding my tongue, trying to, if we're going to play the judgment game, well, everybody's got a little piece to say. But that's not who we are, and that's not what we're about. And I don't want to perpetuate hate in a world full of chaos. We're trying to produce something valuable and that's going to help people. We're not really interested in being part of the problem. We're more focused on being part of the solution. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful to the people that did reach out and give us some valuable insight, and I'm just forever endowed with gratitude to our customers who reached out and said, hey, wait, no, don't give up. I'll tune into what you guys are doing, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and we'd love to share your goodness with our friends and our family who are actively working to eat healthier and be healthier and live a more healthy and holistic life. So I'm really, really, really grateful to our customers who reached out to us this week and just let us know that we weren't just being doing it for nothing. You know, for a long time it felt like, what is the point? So it was a big learning curve this week, and we are feeling still coming down from it, still integrating a lot of the information, and just trying to reground and refocus and redirect our efforts towards those who actually value us. Because, you know, it's like, imagine being in a relationship with somebody who doesn't value what you do, who doesn't value the efforts you make in terms of cooking and cleaning and giving them nurturing and feeding them. You wouldn't stay in a relationship with somebody who just cut you off or was cold or distant, or you know, and it's a bit like that with your customer and your audience. Is like, you're not going to give all your time and effort and energy to somebody who can't even appreciate or say thank you for what you do. But it was really humbling to know that there are people who care about what we're doing and how we're growing, and I'm forever endowed with gratitude to our customers, and we hope to just keep growing a better and better relationship with them, because to me there's nothing more important than knowing who's growing your food and where it's coming from. You know, plants are very, it's a long deep rabbit hole getting into the sentience of plants. But so thank you to everyone who reached out to us this week with insightful information, and thank you to everyone who reached out to us saying, no, don't give up. I would love to talk more, or we can work together on a project. And I'm really grateful for just everything I've learned in the last week and a half. And I knew there was a lesson to be learned laying in bed, sobbing, wondering if we were going to move forward, and I'm very grateful for just going through the motions and not giving up. And if you know anything about me, I'm one of the most stubborn people. I refuse to give up. But you know, like my husband said, you have to observe, and we did that. Observed our audience. This is what people in this area need: healthy food. Interact, and we did that by setting up our farm and farming the highest quality organic produce, and then take feedback. And the feedback was not what we wanted to hear, and it was not what we were expecting, but it was an honest, it made us evaluate what we were doing and why we were doing it. And so, you know, moving forward, we are just putting all of our heart and soul and efforts into overproducing and overproviding and connecting with our customers who actually value what we do. So don't waste your time with the naysayers that are just gonna that are kind of playing out the 3D game of casting judgment and he said, she said. You know, put your time and your effort into people who value what you do and value your time and your efforts and appreciate you. And you know, what goes around comes around, and what goes around is all around. So until next time, tribe, I am still busy integrating and grounding in a lot of this information and making sunshine salve, and I hope that I can get out there and connect with our customers more. But I'm wishing you all health, wealth, happiness, and abundance. And until next time, I'll be in the nursery, planting out hundreds of seedlings, trying to wrangle 2 children, trying to keep the house running. All right, cheers, folks.